Thank God it's Friday. Welcome to the show. I am Veronica Dan Ekboy. With me, as usual, this morning are my beautiful co-hosts. Welcome, ladies. Good morning.
Another life. You will be born in South Africa.
No, thank you. You look like the Egyptian.
She's an ancestry person. She's always wearing accessories. And I know those Southern things. Yes, those Southern Africans, they always wear those thingies. This is really beautiful.
Kika, it's good to see you.
Celebrating Africa,
right?
Yeah.
It's good to see you. Good
Same here. Same here.
Long time. It's been your weekend.
Have you seen you this year?
Yeah.
Come on. I traveled weeks back for medical checkup and all of that, and since I arrived, it's been up and about, and it's been crazy. Life is tough, but you just keep moving.
Keep going.
Yeah.
So. All right, Mariam.
Oh, okay, me. Oh, what's happening? The trucks and trailers, they are gone. I don't know what happened. I just woke up this morning and they were gone. You know, but we heard that the president is coming on Saturday. Yeah. So somehow they have found a way to get those trucks
out of the road,
off the bridges. See, let me tell you, when I was looking for schools for my kids, my husband insisted they had to be around where we live because he thought it would be ridiculous, driving across town. And the thing is, now with these trucks on the road, a journey to school that would have been 10 minutes is much longer because we have to find an alternative, longer route to get to school. So sort of, the aim that we were looking for has just been dashed.
Can our president drive on our Nigerian roads and experience Nigerian traffic, enter Nigerian potholes?
Is that possible?
The same experiences we have every day. Because as long as the president is isolated from the realities everybody is going through, Nigeria will not see major difference. When they go to hospitals, it took the president's wife going to the hospital to find out that there wasn't paracetamol. Actually. Sometimes they just need to feel it. So I'm happy they cleared the trailer off your
It's not just about the president, because the state government is the ones these issues are delegated. So the people in charge should do their jobs.
Everybody should experience.
So all of them should experience. Not
just
about the
division of labor.
Exactly.
That's it. It's not just. So how are you, Tokwe?
I'm here. This rain. It's a beautiful rain.
You want her to dance in the rain again?
I would have loved to, but I had to come to work. This week has been an extremely late coming week for me. My nanny's daughter isn't feeling fine, so I could understand that when she gets to work, her mind is not at work. Yes. Her heart wants to be at home, and really, it's tough being a mother and trying to find balance with work. I wish I could just let her go and say, focus on your children, which I did after work. After the morning yesterday, she went back home, but it is really tough balancing work and parenting, especially for mothers whose heart is actually with the kids when they're not feeling fine. So may God help us all.
Yeah, I can agree.
But this weekend for the weekend.
It's a working weekend again for me.
Ah, no, please,
let me tell you, Veronica does not look boring. When you say you're like, this girl is living the life. And then when she opens her mouth, she says, it's a working weekend. It's a working weekend.
The most important thing is that she's enjoying what she's doing.
Yes, okay. So I enjoy what I'm doing. And that's why I try to give all I can to it. But then there's the stress side.
Yeah.
But then you have to. In Nigeria,
movie this weekend.
I'll try to, right?
Please do.
I really want to sleep for like 8 hours.
We will celebrate that with you.
But I don't know if I would get that. I'm not sure, but I have to work this weekend because there's a target and,
something big is coming.
Hey. Well, I wouldn't say that. I'll say keep your fingers crossed.
Crossed for you.
All right, people, when we return, we review the headlines, the headline news this morning. Stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, thank you for staying with us. Let's quickly head to the newspapers this morning, and we are starting with The Punch, as usual. Major headlines, INEC creates 57,023 more voting points for elections. ASU suspends 3-month-old strike, finally. Fireshade judge threatens to jail Obanikoro. FG orders closure of Unity schools ahead of elections. Ikoyi Cash court orders ex-NIA DG wife's arrest. Military fighting tested Boko Haram fighters, says federal government. I was a billionaire before becoming governor, Otom replies Akume. Assailants kill estate developer, hide cops in bush. Really sad. Nasima LCCI man decry poor economy insecurity. FIRS goes in 85,000 millionaire tax debtors. Obasanjo belongs in dustbin of history at Kinriade. 5 die in stampede at Buhari's rally in Taraba. Onogen AGF files 4 processes at industrial court. So who has the human interest story here?
I've got the human interest story. It's a sad story of an estate developer. His name is Bababumi Akinyemi, Mowe area. He had a piece of property that he wanted to sell in the area, and he had told people about it. And the wife says that someone called him, one of the residents of the estate called him, that he has a buyer, and when he left, she didn't see him. This is 1st of February, and so they didn't see him. They reported to the police. Days later, they found him in a bush with wounds, on his head. Looked like he had been hit on the head and hidden in the bush. So very sad story. So I think the police are trying to investigate, what happened between being called to go and check this and finding his corpse.
That's really sad. The height of wickedness, I must say.
Yes. Please, who read the story about the stampede, the presidential... because we've been seeing pictures trending online with a large, the crowd is massive, turning out for all this campaign and rallies. And I was always worried that I hope we have enough measures to ensure that there's careful...
no casualties.
There are no casualties. So I feel really, really sad. We don't need to lose any life over politics and politicking. Can we be more organized when we are arranging our rallies going forward?
All right. Now
and the president has actually already sent out messages of condolences this morning.
All right, let's move to the nation now. Our major headlines. Han quizzed over $30,000 in CJN Onogen's account. EFCC grills Aggie overpayment of $10,000 thrice. San is the referee or at account opening. And our complete Mambila hydropower project, says President Buhari. And, we go to government launches campaign to boost troops' morale. Fayoshe's trial, judge threatens to order Obanikoro's arrest. ASU suspends strike after deal. U.S. has no candidate, says envoy. Eagles drop in FIFA ranking. Jonathan preaches peace. Any story here?
Oh, yes. So I've got the San quizzed over the CJN Onogen's account. So
San as in...
Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Sorry, a Senior Advocate of Nigeria is being quizzed concerning $30,000 that he had transferred into the account of CJN Onogen. It was 10,000 3 times into the account, and
different days,
back
to back.
Yes, back to back. And also he Onogen had said that the monies in his account he got as a result of farming. But then it shows that there have been transfers of money into his account by this particular son, Mr. Joe Aggie, who in 2017 has also been in court to answer cases of being involved in, sorry.
So the son is questionable?
Yes.
The transfer is questionable?
Sorry.
And so we're not questioning it.
I'm so sorry I missed that. So he's been alleged to have committed bribery, paying judges off in 2017. And now they've found that there's a trail of money from his account into Onogen's account. So that's, so the EFCC is saying that because of this is one of the reasons that they have Onogen in, this case that people are talking about.
So, do you have a story here?
Yeah. Okay. I think INEC have extended the PVC collection.
Oh, I thought today was the last day.
I think today. They've extended it to today. So hopefully, I hope people will be able to get
my project for today.
Be able to get their PVC.
Yes,
but I think there are some major states that are really having challenges getting their PVC, about 8 states or something. But the chairman of INEC, Professor Mohammed Yakub, have mentioned to us, or told us that we shouldn't worry, that everybody will get their PVC before the close of business
I'll let
today.
everybody know by Monday.
Yes.
I'm going there.
hoping that
said that the wards would now, you could go to your ward to collect it, but
That's-
it's not
it's
true.
not available.
It's not available. They're
not
not there.
available.
You can't go there.
Yeah.
So people still have to go to the INEC,
They are-
local government to
All
get
right.
their PVCs. And
Let's quickly get to the Nigerian Tribune now. A major headlines: ASU suspends strike. Lecturers resume today. Now, let me just quickly read the highlights of agreement with the federal government. One, the federal government to release 25 billion naira revitalization fund in April, May this year. Government to address 2013 Memorandum of Understanding, 2017 MOA or Memorandum of Agreement. Part payment of outstanding arrears of earned academic allowances, deferring the balance up to 2018 in 4 tranches within 36 months. Payment of outstanding earned academic allowances, arrears of all eligible staff in the University of Ilorin, especially the loyal ASU members. And we have another story here. Onogen Agbakogba sues federal government, NGC. HND graduates can't rise above level 14. Federal government. ISIS links made Boko Haram more potent. Lai Muhammad. Okay, so the ASU strike, after 3 months, the strike has been suspended. 8 issues, according to, the Labour Minister. He said that 8 issues were addressed and some have been implemented. I guess that's what was highlighted here. And so the resumption, or it takes effect today. So we should see students returning back to school, perhaps. After the elections, we should see students going back to school. But we must be grateful that this strike is over after 3 months. Finally.
after 14 weeks. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy,
But they've also informed us that we shouldn't think that after election, if the federal government does not meet up with their demands, they understand they would return back to
the strike.
So I hope they're not just placating them with this, that they actually carry out the agreement, because this is not the first time we're having agreements.
MOA was signed yesterday.
Yes, we're always having agreements. We've had many agreements. It's about implementation of those agreements. But there is a news from, the HND story. The head of service, Mrs. Winfred Oyoita, said that there's been issue, that part of our statement on what she has accomplished between our time as head of service between 2015 and 2018 was that they were able to clarify the HNDs and degree holders who go into the civil service at the same level. Before, it wasn't the same, but now they both enter at level 8. However, if you are an HND holder and you don't acquire additional degree or qualification, you will not rise above level 14. So I am really happy about this, because I went to a polytechnic and we always had issues of, because you went to polytechnic, you will never be as good as a degree holder, even if you are good in your job. But right now, I think that there's a platform where if you keep on improving yourself, you can rise to the level of even being
so,
the
but
head
that's
of
in
service.
government work, that's government
Yes.
work, not private.
Usually, if it happens in government,
Let's
it
quickly move
translates
to
into
the New
private.
Telegraph because we're running out of time. A major headline polls: 5 die in Buhari's campaign rally stampede. President and pained by APC supporters' tragic death. Governor's convoy attacked, supporters killed in Taraba. Army deploys 95% of manpower for election duties. DHQ will treat civilians in military uniforms as terrorists. NSA, we won't compromise security. Police on lookout for vote buyers. ASU suspends 14-week strike as lecturers resume today. DSS arraigns INEC officials for stealing PVCs. Wow. 6 held for stripping robbing pepper into ladies' private parts. FIRS targets 85,000 millionaire tax defaulters. Okorocha, my government owes no bank in the world. Uzodinma, you're a liar. Imo State owes 312 billion naira.
We're about to run away. I remember Utom saying that he was a billionaire before becoming a governor. Now, we know billionaires. Billionaires are people that have businesses you can see. You cannot become a billionaire without being known and your money being...
Just like Donald Trump.
So, exactly. So, if he's a billionaire, I hope that the tax people can also verify that he has been paying all his taxes up until the time when he became governor and is paying till now. We need to know. We know the billionaires, and I'm happy to know that he's
You
a
may
billionaire.
not know them.
You may not know them. It's not every
Because
one
I
of them
remember
that
when we were
wants
talking
to-
about FIRS was going to get millionaires, people to pay taxes, and then they said that we had over 6,000 billionaires. I was shocked.
If you're a billionaire without a business,
You're a
how did you
billionaire,
become a
so-
billionaire? If you're a billionaire without a business,
owns a
when we say
business, do you know
a
it's
business
a
that brings that brings you billions, must be a business. But we know Dangote, we know Otedola, we know people that have businesses.
Everyone.
Those ones are in front of the camera.
We know
He always
Boa.
talks about his farming and all.
And farming brings in billions.
cattle
What's the
and
brand he's producing?
You don't know what
He should just answer me. I'm a Nigerian and I'm asking the question. So.
But then you cannot really question that because
Yes.
he understands his business. So when you see him one-on-one, you can ask that. But that's the much we can take from the newspaper headlines this morning. Next, we just about a girl who flees home after she was severely beaten for losing her virginity. Well, you don't want to miss this. Stay with us. We will be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thank you for staying with us. Now, a 21-year-old girl reportedly fled home after she was beaten by her parents for losing her virginity. According to a report, it was alleged that her father accused her of numerous boyfriends before flogging her mercilessly. What are your thoughts on this? Join the conversation on 07080668014. Twitter us at TVC Connect with the hashtag YourViewTVC. Yes, she's 21, but then we're Africans, and we... Anyway, Mariam, you were arguing with me, right? So go ahead, shoot.
I wasn't arguing with you. I said that we know how we conveniently drop this "we're African" thing, you know, because and if we're going by "we're African," that means by
when it's convenient for us.
Yes, by 12 years you should have been married off to somebody, you know. That's the African. So I'm just saying that we should not always use "we are African" to answer all questions.
Yeah, I'm not going to use the "we are Africans" to answer those questions. I'm going to use the "you are my child, you're in my house, you live by my rules."
Definitely.
Because at the end of the day, failure of proper parenting or failure of setting boundaries within the household is what leads to people just going haywire. I do not believe losing virginity is constitutes at 21. It's considered as going haywire. But I honestly believe that we should have children that will serve their punishment. And by that, I mean, personal experience. There was a time I had a rule that I had curfew in my house. And my parents told me that when it's 9 o'clock, you're not in the house, you will stay outside. And I got home just past 9. And the door was locked. And I was already engaged to my husband. So he was like, come back. How can they lock you outside the house? You're not a baby. You're about to get married. One thing. I just sat down there. I said, don't worry. Because I respect my parents. It is a show of humility to serve your punishment. So I sat down there, and about an hour, 2 hours later, they came after mosquito has dealt with me. They opened the door, but I understood the values of what they're teaching me. You must control yourself, and I knew because I've been warned over and over again. I've been giving you grace period. For me, in this case, beating mercilessly with the pictures. The pictures show that the man reacted in major, like he lost himself and his emotion. I believe in punishment. I believe that you shouldn't lose control and exert your life frustration on the child. But when you live in my house, you will live by my rules. And there are punishments, you will serve the punishment. If I choose to beat my pikin at 21, if you feel you're too old to be beaten, then go and find your own house.
Yeah, perhaps. Well, Tokwe, I agree with you to some extent, right? Like,
okay, where do you disagree?
The father should insist on, don't bring such behavior to the house. This is my house. But as
so
a
she
father,
can do it outside? Is that what you're saying?
No, hold on. As a father, if you are still beating your adult child, the child is 21, an adult child at 21, you have failed as a parent.
Really?
Because most children look at what their parents are doing, not what you are telling them to do. So there must be
They get the example.
Yeah, so I'm not saying what the girl is doing is right. Do you understand? Because I understand that we have a culture. I understand that there are some certain rules that we should put on the table when you're a parent and when you have a child living with you. But as a father, I'm sorry, I think the father is a joker. Beating your child like that at 21. There are some situations where...
The girl's brain needed to be reset.
I want to believe that the girl might be in maybe her last year in university or has finished university. There are some students that get married while they are in school. So are you saying that at 21 she cannot get married?
Okay, so
this is a whole different issue.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Miriam.
Okay, when we got this topic, I was like, really, I don't even know what to say. There are two things, right? I think a lot of African or Nigerian parents forget that our bodies and hormones happen in spite of what happens at home or culture or education. I feel that our parents, African or Nigerian parents, that there's a divide between wanting your child to behave a certain way and understanding the body. So usually, like my mom got married, she was 20 or 21, right? And a lot of people at that time got married quite early. Yeah. So you're already experiencing your sexual experience in your husband's house. But now you have children at home who are at home until they are 25, 28, 30 before they go off and they get married. Okay. No fault of theirs, it's just the way modern times have come along. So people are going to school.
Can you hold the thought? Let me just answer Bobby first. Okay. Bobby is calling us from Surulere. Welcome to the show, Bobby. Go ahead with your contribution.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Oh, happy Friday to you all over there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, I was listening to your topic, but I just want to chip in one or two things. I want to question the father beating the girl because the father does not have any right to start beating that girl because she loses her virginity.
Really?
And that is at 21.
He's her father.
At the same time, again, our father, he does not have any right to beat that girl at that age, 21 years old girl. Come on, a 21 years old girl can get married at any time.
She's not married. She's not married, remember.
According to what we follow now in Nigeria nowadays, because we are in the area of civilization, a 21-year-old girl can get married. And apart from that, this virginity that we're talking about, it depends on the girl, the kind she wanted to use her virginity. All this kind of thing is so. You can only train your child, but losing your virginity depends on that child or the girl herself. That means I want to lose that virginity. So person. It's self.
All right, Bobby.
So
Thank you.
Thank
you for your contribution. I believe the father has a right.
Okay.
He's her father.
Let me just finish
finish
the
your
point I was making. Okay. So I feel that Nigerian parents, in carrying out punishments or in trying to educate our children or trying to advise us, we forget the physiological or biological thing that happens in a human being's body. You cannot separate that. And we know that now that our children are staying home longer, the sexual hormones are working. They will not stop working just because they are staying home.
There's something called self-control, right?
Can I finish? Please. The thing is that we need now to have a different type of conversation. Beating does not solve anything. There used to be a time when girls were told. If you get pregnant, don't come home. Yeah. Nobody taught them about condoms, so they were getting HIV, doing all sorts of abortions. Nobody taught them, properly educated them on the use of safe sex and.
I'll hold that word education. I'm coming. Yeah. We have a caller from Ilorin. Welcome to the show. Go ahead with your contribution, please.
Good morning to every one of you on the panel.
Good morning.
This is a very interesting topic. Let me make my contribution briefly.
All right, thank you.
I am enjoying my life today thanks to my parents that did not allow me to choose the way I want to go when I was yet a younger boy. You see, my dad took every precautionary measure. There was a day my dad told me, he said, I will do my best so that God will know I have done my best. Then when you get spoiled, God will know I have done my best as a father. You see, we shouldn't just begin to act like this wife that allow everything to go. The father did what he did. I'm not in support of you beating your child to, stupor or whatever. But see, these are measures we should take to correct their future. Because God will ask you tomorrow, how much did you do?
Thank you so much.
I have been beaten over love. Yes, I was in love. The love was shocking me. And the love was shocking me. My parents could see, Yoruba says that in Koti, Agbalagba, majokori, if you're standing, you cannot see it. An adult would see things you cannot see in your future.
Thank you.
So I felt I was in love. I was ready to marry this person. And my mom had to use cane, use prayer. She tried word, though. Word did not work because I was really in love. That was my first love. She tried prayer and deliverance. It did not break this bond. Cane helped the matter. Point is, when I look back now, if I had married that guy, I won't be where I am today. So sometimes parents need to use beating to reset the brains of the child.
I agree
Just
with you.
within control.
Fola is calling from the UK. Welcome to the show, Fola. Go ahead. Fola, are you there?
Yes?
Yes, go ahead. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry to bring you back. I always watch your program. But there's something I want to correct. You know, the moderator said something. I'm sorry to bring you back to what you said about you know, when Tokwe asked him, where did you make the million? This is one thing. Nigerians should learn to speak with one voice.
Please,
we
are talking about something else. Perhaps you should have called in or dropped your comment at a time. If you
Social media.
Yes.
We'll talk on social media.
Drop it with a tweet. But right now, you wanted quickly before you...
I think some African parents don't teach their children sex education. So at the end of the day, when they learn wrongly. So it will be too difficult for you to now start going back to teach them what you should have taught them earlier. That is the case of this girl, as far as I'm concerned.
See, I didn't want to have to make it personal, but I will now.
Quickly, because you're running out of time.
So the way my mom brought me, up, it's, keep yourself up until that day and everything. Yeah. And for a long time, I did that. But then she lost faith in her teaching. Because after a while, she would ask me some questions like, oh, now you're in university, blah, blah, blah.
Guy.
She saw me a certain way. In school, they called me Mother Mary. But my mom thought, you know, now that I'm older, and she was suspecting things. And it really broke my heart. And that's why I'm saying that our parents Nigerian parents do not have the proper way of teaching their children. She had done a good job already from the beginning. But then she lost faith in it. Because beating might have worked for you. Maybe they have used beating to teach you every step of the way.
I was not beaten as a child.
I need to say something.
Yeah.
I will have to bring in the scriptures now because it says, train up a child in the way he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart from it. Yeah. How you train your child, there is a carrot and stick approach. You have to use both. From how I was trained, it works.
And sometimes
you
the
have to use
pressure
both.
Is high.
And parents have to have the conversation.
Beating might help
parents have to speak with their children. Make them your friends. Make them your friends. Right from the time they become aware of themselves, begin to teach them.
Sometimes
when they are your friends.
Because they
have to end this now.
It is when they use serious stick approach that will make your
guest takes the couch after the break. Stay with us. We will be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. He is an incredibly accomplished singer, rapper, record producer, writer, speaker, record label executive, events coordinator, advertising, marketing specialist, MC, I'm losing my breath, and all-around businessman. Yeah. He's a true jack of all trades who has won different awards, and now he wants to become the master of... Okay, let's leave that. Welcome, Olubankole Wellington. Welcome to the show.
You read out all those jobs, I'm like, man, I'm working too much. This is too many things for one person.
Perhaps it's the process that is taking you to where you want to be right now.
By the grace of God, yeah.
All right, join the conversation on 07080668014. Tweet to us at TVC Connect with the hashtag YourViewTVC. You have been all of this, and nobody saw what you are now intending to do coming. What triggered you to take on this journey of faith, as you call it? Sorry, before I got that. Okay. A hot topic, please quickly react to that.
Okay,
but remember, I asked
let's talk about the hot topic.
Yes.
I found the conversation very engaging.
Yes.
Now, my personal view is that African parents don't talk to their kids enough.
Don't teach.
And if you are not teaching your child, that child is going to learn about it from someone else.
Yes.
You know, when you reference the scripture, train a child in the way he should go, when he grows old, he won't depart from it. Now, growing up, there were certain things that my parents instilled in me that no matter what circle of friends I found myself, there were just some lines I wouldn't cross because of the home that I came from, because of that. So you have a responsibility to train that child first. Before we say, oh, the music they're watching or anything else, they must have learnt about the most important topics in life from you as a parent.
Yeah, definitely.
So even things like sex education, most African parents never talk to their children about sex. And then you turn around and your child has sex and then you beat the child, but you never had that conversation.
Yeah.
Now, as far as this girl in question is concerned, once somebody is 21 years old, actually once they're 18, they're kind of responsible for their own decisions. So if the child at that point has decided that she wants to have sex, then I think that, you know, there's not, you know, that I don't...
You know what you've just done? You took all my stuttering and you just put it eloquently. That's
honestly, you know, because I think that, you know, people, you know, I don't think beating a 21-year-old for having sex is the way to go. I think that there was a disconnect somewhere, you know. At that point, you're already treating a symptom. You've not addressed the root. You've not had those conversations. And as a parent, your responsibility is first that putting in that foundation first.
And this is where we say, background.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so let's come back to you now. Yes. What triggered this journey of faith?
Okay, what triggered it? You know, in the last 10 years of being in entertainment and media and all the job descriptions that you listed, on the side, I've always kind of been a vocal critic or, you know, a voice for young people about bad governance, about getting young people to register to vote. I mean, as far back as 2009, I was in Light Up Nigeria and Enough is Enough. Anytime there are protests, we're always there kind of agitating. And this time around, you know, when the campaign season kind of started about a year and a half ago, I went back on my Young People Let's Get Our PBCs. And one day, you know, I sat there and I said, you know, who's going to do this thing the right way? So it's great that we have alternatives running for president. But, you know, everybody wants to be Obama. Obama didn't start off running for president. Sure. What's happening in our National Assembly? These are races that we should be paying attention to. I was speaking to my church, 3,000 people in the audience. And I said, how many people here actually know who their representative is? And in a church of 3,000 people, there were 5 hands. And so we sit down as a generation and we talk and we tweet and we complain. But we're not really paying attention, are we? So we know president and governor, and then we tap out, forgetting that they're senators, they're House of Rep members, they're state houses of assembly. All of these people have responsibilities to the country, to the community. All of these people are getting allocations that they're supposed to be using to develop the constituency. At a time when Nigeria is struggling to pass 30K for minimum wage, senators are pocketing 13.5 million a month.
When you get there.
And we're not paying attention to these people. When, in Jesus' name?
You know, but I have spoken extensively with people that are in the legislature, and the responsibilities and the change they desire cannot be fought by one person.
That's true.
For you to make any change in our constitution, you need to work with a lot of people from different political and different backgrounds.
Absolutely.
What's the edge you believe you have that will give you, how do you want to approach that change? How do you want to push your good voice and your goodness?
Yeah. So here's the thing. At this point in our history, we can accept that the National Assembly or our leaders are basically a room full of darkness, or somebody can attempt to turn on a light bulb. And that's what we're saying. Can we have a torchlight into the National Assembly? One of the things I've been saying on my campaign trail is about accountability and transparency. So when I get there, by the grace of God, step 1 is that we will publish the salary, the allowance, the allocation given to Etiosa. The whole country must know it. Let's start with being accountable.
Transparent.
You have state governments now that are fighting the Freedom of Information Act, even here in Lagos, because they don't want to provide information that allows people to say, okay, well, what did you spend this money on?
I knew you were going into politics, though.
You probably knew sooner than I did.
Yeah. You can hang on. She wants to ask a question.
As a celebrity, part of your job is to campaign for politicians. So now that you are a politician, will you stop campaigning for other politicians?
You know, here's the thing, right? So over the years, we've seen multiple celebrities lend their voices to different politicians. And the ironic thing is, all that is you saying that you believe that this person will do a good job. And what happens when that person doesn't do a good job? As a generation, we target the people that are easy targets. So we target the voices. We don't berate. We've misplaced our priorities as a generation. So I'll give you an example. Instead of Nigerians to tackle the corrupt politicians who it's in the news, what they've stolen, what they've done, we'll turn around and we'll berate Igalo for not beating Argentina with a goal. So for me as a voice, it was like, okay, I don't want to use my voice for anybody anymore. I want to use it for the ideas that I believe in, and I want to build a movement. You know my real goal? 2023, I want us to put 40 good legislators in the National Assembly.
That would be nice.
Because you know what? You put 40 good people in that assembly, Nigeria will change in one term. So this thing is the beginning of that movement. We're showing young people that it is even possible, that you don't need a sponsor, you don't need a godfather, you don't need all of this. We just need our voices. Can we, for the first time in our generation, stand together on one and speak with one voice and say, this is something that we can do if we put ourselves together.
I'll take you up on that, the stand together later on.
Okay.
Go ahead, Miriam.
So you've answered all the questions I would have asked, and you speak so well, you know. So people like you would stand anywhere and you speak, and people would just enjoy it.
Amen.
So, so that's not the problem. So I know you have the good ideas. I know you can pass your points across eloquently. But the thing is, for people like you, I think the real challenge will be when you get there and you're not doing right. And people, would you allow to be recalled? Because we have a lot of you now to be criticized, to be recalled, to be
let's
called
talk about
out.
that. Let's talk about that. First of all, as far as I'm concerned, I'm probably the one person entering politics with no room for error. Because my career, my reputation, everything that I've built, my wife's reputation is on the line, right? Because let's say I get in there and I flip and I become corrupt. Number one, we need to become a one-term government country until we get people that deserve a second go-around. So we did it in the last election.
So you're ready to do a term?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because you should only get a second, government is not automatic. You only get a second term if you perform, if you do what you said that you would do. If you don't, then let's remove you. And here's the thing. Let's say I go in there and I change my mouth. Am I going to come back and sing a song and people will listen to it?
They're doing it all the time. It happens. This is what happens already. You just be part of the regular Nigeria.
Here's the thing. The difference is that people who have gotten into office, and this is why we intentionally chose MDP. We started our own party. We didn't come in off the back of any existing party base, because you come in off of that, then it's the godfathers or whoever is in charge of that party that mobilizes the base to get you in there, and those people are still in control of your destiny. If we get into office, when we get into office, it will be because the young people of Nigeria decided to stand behind us.
There's been several talks about, you spoke about Stand Together. Now, there's been several talks about a third force and all of that, and we saw how things went on. And those that also have tried to, push for this change also, things don't seem to be, we seem to be having different focus and all of that. How much support have you garnered so far to ensure that you see it yourself, you know your contenders, and people see it as a challenge? How much support have you gotten?
So it is very much a challenge. It is very much an uphill task. It is very much a battle. But you start somewhere. And we've decided to start here and to start now. Now, there are people that are standing with us. For instance, you guys are all invited. We have a concert on Sunday. It's called the Stronger Together Concert. And anybody who's watching, you can go to my Instagram or my social media to register to attend. It's a free concert if you have your PVC. And at that, and at that concert, you'll see some of the biggest names in entertainment, movies, music, comedy.
You're using what you have.
They're all standing with us to push this message through. And the goal here really is to inspire this generation to show that these things can be done. That listen, God never needs the whole country to believe. He just needs somebody to step out in faith. And that's what we're trying to inspire generations. We can do this. Let's step out in faith. Let's try. I can live with trying and failing at something. I can't live with not trying. And we've talked about our issues as young people forever.
Let me
so when do we move past talking
quickly
to
come in.
doing something.
The area you want to represent has the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah.
The people that vote in your area are the people that don't speak English or send all this your phone.
Yeah.
Their focus is on, we know the structure about it.
Yeah.
But because he covers, you also cover VI, you cover Obalende, you cover VI,
Aja,
you cover the elite.
Lambasa,
They are,
Shango Tedu,
so
Ado,
you have
Badore,
both
Ogombo.
sides.
Yes, absolutely.
How are you approaching them?
Okay.
One, how are you going to convince the elite that they have planned the movies they want to watch on that election day to leave that and come out and meet you?
Yeah.
And how are you approaching them one-on-one? How are you getting them involved?
Okay. So as far as, so let's tackle both sides, the grassroots, right, and the elites. As far as the grassroots are concerned, and in fact both sides, we've spent almost every free day in the last 3 months in the community. When I live here, I'm going to Takwa Bay. Yesterday we were in Aja, we've been in Ilaje, we've been in Ogombo, we've been in Ado. We're having town halls with the community and sitting down with these people. And you know, you're right. Normally, those people operate with stomach infrastructure. So they just expect every 4 years a politician comes along, what do you bring come? By the time we finish sitting with
You got that right?
Of course, no, what?
Where do you bring come?
No, but when we approach, that's the first thing they ask. Oh, if you know, come share money, we no go hear you. But by the time we finish conversations with them, we say, listen, this 1K and rice that somebody gives you, how long does it last you?
Okay, you tell us more about that when we return from this break. I know you're flowing, right? But we need to go on break.
I was about to bring it.
Join the conversation when we return. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
So, you want to live this fine boy life?
When the thing came on, I was like, I used to do this. I can't remember the last time I listened.
So it's going to be goodbye to music or what?
Well, not goodbye forever, but I think that for me now, my goal and my mission in life is impact. And I've had that for the last 10 years.
Impact.
And I've been blessed to be a blessing to empower young people and all of these things. But now, that's my life's mission. Nigeria needs the Martin Luther Kings to stand up, the Obamas, the Mandelas, the people who will stand up for the young people of this generation. And I'm determined to be one of those people.
Okay, you were making a point earlier, so we needed to quickly wrap up that.
Okay.
And then she asks.
Okay, real quick. So for the people that do stomach infrastructure, the question is simple. This 1K, this rice, this Gary, how long does it last you? Does the school that your child go to, does it get better? Does the healthcare center improve? Do the young people in this place have jobs? Is it that 500 naira that a politician who has probably stolen billions that comes to share chicken change for you at election time, is that what is worth the next 4 years? True. And the grassroots are getting it.
I'm happy about that.
Now, the flip side is that people need to understand that politics is a game of numbers,
yes,
right?
Actually.
So let me give you the numbers. In 2015, there were over 250,000 registered eligible voters in Etiosa. Ask me how many people took part in House of Reps.
How many voted?
56K. Ask me how many votes it took to win this seat.
How many votes?
28,000 in a community that has over 1 million people.
Wow.
Population. 28,000 votes is all it took.
That's
so the
serious.
message to all of us who want to use election day to stay home, we are the ones at fault. The leaders we have, every country has the leadership that it deserves.
All right,
we are in this mess because we don't participate. So the message is now, Those 200,000 people that would normally stay home
should come out.
Come out. You want to battle rigging? You want to battle rigging?
Everybody
show
should
up.
vote.
Everybody show up. Nobody can rig against everybody.
Yeah, well done.
Sorry.
All right, on a lighter note, a little bit. Congratulations on the successful treatment that you had to undergo on skin
cancer.
Yes, skin cancer that you did in South Africa.
Heavy note.
Right? No, in America we did.
Was it in America? I actually thought it was in South Africa. No. Yeah. Now that you're going into politics, are you going to include that in terms of the health system in Nigeria? Is it going to be part of your agenda?
Yes. So for everybody that wants to see my agenda, please go to my website, bankywellington.com, and click on it, and you can read. Now, here's the thing with that. My entire agenda is made up of causes that I've worked on and that are near and dear to my heart over the years. So healthcare. I've had cancer 3 times. Thank God, he blessed me with the ability to afford my surgery and my treatment. So what did I do? I turned around and I joined the Pinko Cancer Trust Fund. I've donated my own money. I've raised awareness. We are paying for people that cannot afford their cancer treatment right now.
That's good.
So, and that's what makes up my agenda. When I talk about education, I've run my own scholarship fund, sending deserving students to school, home and abroad. I've adopted schools. I just don't go around with the camera to say, today, I donated this, today, because I've never been wired that way.
But don't you think people want to know?
Now that I'm running for office,
these are the
things that they're asking. People want to know that gives them that confidence
and you know
that
what?
they can vote for you.
You know what? I've always found it so difficult to talk about my philanthropy. But what happened was some of the young people who I've helped over the years got themselves together and shot a video.
Oh, great.
And started saying, this is the guy that gave me a scholarship. We talked about Up North, off air. One of the main producer, the assistant director, main producer of Up North is somebody that went on my scholarship to film school in Canada. So her name is Uche. She's now a Nollywood firehouse. She's working on different movies. That's what God has used me to do. That's what God has used me to do. He's helped me to bring up young people in entertainment and media. Now we want to do it for the community. We need leaders that understand that youth empowerment. I need a whole new show.
Please, can you give me a few minutes to just ask you one more question?
Because time is running out.
Yeah, so on a lighter note as well, I watch Up North. Fantastic movie.
God bless you.
And it's not just a movie just for laughs.
Yes.
It's a movie with a message.
Yes.
I keep saying that a lot of people like outside the North do not really understand the North, the culture.
Yes.
And that movie is such an impactful movie.
Thank you.
No. I'm not just saying it about Banky W. I'm saying it about the message that
the movie passed
across. And I'm even happy to hear the backstory that the person that did the movie is someone who you had helped to get into film school.
Well, she wasn't the director. But she was one of the top crew, yes.
So I'm saying that those kind of movies, they also make an impact. Sometimes people would think that I have to only be in politics to make an impact, but you can't be as an entertainer, as an actor.
I'm looking at the time.
You've been talking.
Can I quickly look?
No, so just ask the question. So because we are running out of time.
Because you see, there is a major issue with working together and team building. So you know that there is a party that is fielding a fella that we love. And how come you had to create your own party and you didn't work with fella? How would that make me feel like you're going to work with people when you get there?
Okay, so, can I just quickly talk about Up North?
Thank you.
So,
because we are running out of time. It's almost time for wrap up. So just quickly.
Real quick. Up North, people think that it's a comedy about NYSC. It's not. It's a film
unfortunately.
It's a film, well, I mean, it is a comedy about NYSC, but also it's a film about girl-child empowerment.
My director was talking to me that we need to go now.
We need to go. Okay.
So maybe you just quickly top us a question, quickly, and we wrap up.
Question, we intentionally did MDP because we feel like the focus of our generation needs to be starting small. So imagine what it would have been like if Auntie Obi and Fela and Showore and Mogalu entered the National Assembly now. If all of us were entering the National Assembly now, man, we would turn this country around. You want to be president of Nigeria, you need 25% of the vote in 2/3 of the state. If you don't have an agent in every polling unit in Kano, you're not going to win. So why don't we focus and infiltrate governments?
We can't.
Sister, you said I should reply. I'm trying to.
But you were going too far.
We're going like time
wanted
to go back to politics.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
She took us back to
politics.
She took us back to
Susu is fine, we believe. Thank you so much
She's
for
awesome.
coming. Thank you,
Love you,
thank
Sue.
you,
She's
thank you.
awesome.
Thank you, ladies. We had an awesome time with you.
having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ladies. I apologize for butting in several times because I was looking at the time.
It's okay.
Anyway, that's the much we can take on the show today. You can now watch the repeat by 11 p.m. We hope you enjoyed the show today. Have a fabulous weekend. Bye now.
Bye.